Okay. Okay. I think we're all here, most of us. We'll just wait a few more minutes for anyone coming a little late. Okay. So hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful film. Thank you for joining Orville International USA for this premiere. This is a very special film. It's a story that hasn't been told before, and it's been floating around Orville in fragments for many decades. And Alessandra was called to make this film, and we're very, very happy to share it today. I just want to make just a small announcement that everyone's going to be muted to not interrupt the film and the conversation. So if you would like to communicate with us, please use the chat on the bottom of your menu bar, and we will receive your messages and answer as soon as we can. So for everyone who's new, Orville International USA is a US nonprofit organization that was established in 1974. And AVI USA, Orville International USA, works to support the international and experimental city of Orville, which is located on the southeast coast of India in the state of Tamil Nadu. Orville's mission is to be a city where individuals can work together and further the dream of Orville, which is a dream of people living and working together in a state of human unity. So everything that happens in Orville is designed to also further this growing collaboration and development of human unity. Orville International USA works to connect people from all over the world with projects and people in Orville, and to provide resources and support for Orville's work and spread awareness of Orville throughout the world. So if you want to know more, you can visit our website, aviusa.org, and all the links that I mentioned will be in the chat. We are very pleased to premiere Orville director Alessandra Silver's film, The Owl-Eyed Guardian and the Banyan Dream, a film that tells the story of Andai, a visionary Tamil woman who foresaw the creation of Orville. Andai lived on the grounds that eventually were to become the spiritual center of Orville, the Matri Mandir. Before the film, we will have a brief discussion with Alessandra, who wrote, directed, acted, and created the special effects for the film, and Jenn Ruff, a New York-based filmmaker and artist, an educator who has visited Orville. Alessandra is based in Orville, and she lives there with her 2 children. Her films and photography document the everyday life of Orville and the people who work and continue to build it. Jenn lives and works in New York. She is a filmmaker, a film editor, a collage artist, and she also teaches film at New York University. Jenn has worked on many projects, some of them focused on women's issues, and she has an interest in alternative communities. Jenn has also visited Orville. We will take the questions in the chat and go over them at the end of the screening for those of you who would like to stay. And you can also contact us by email at info@aviusa.org. Now I will let Alessandra and Jenn talk a little bit about the film and about filmmaking and their experiences and their connection to Oroville. And then we will screen the film. Okay. Are you?
Thank you, Yana.
Okay. So Alessandra, tell us a little bit about the film and how it came to be that you you were made aware of Andei's existence, and what was it that was the motivating impulse behind creating the film?
Yes, I arrived to Auroville in 2018, and I think during the first months already I heard about this old naive lady living under the banyan tree and expecting some foreigner to come and start a new society. But I thought it was a legend, and actually I had little bits of mentioning about her, but it was just like that, a legend, a little legend. Until last year in April, it was my birthday, and I went under the banyan tree, next to the banyan tree, to meditate. And then I wanted to enter the chamber because it was my birthday, so I was allowed to go even out of the visiting hours. So then there were a lot of guests, and I had to sit somewhere to wait. So I went down where there is the crystal sphere and the water. And I was observing the crystal sphere and feeling how the water is really connected to the feminine energy and the mother. And I've never been like really a water person, but in that moment, the water really gave me the sense of motherhood and feminine energy. And in that moment, like a little realization I was having, John Tulasi's husband, who I didn't know at the time, approached me asking me if I was Alessandra, the filmmaker. And he just took out his phone and he showed me on the screen the photo of Andaye. And I was like speechless. I thought, oh, then she's not a legend. She existed for real. And he told me, yes. And you know what? I know her grandson. He lives in Oroville. And if you want, I can organize a date, the three of us, so you can meet him. So that I knew it was my birthday present and it was my next story looking for me, finding me, because most of the time in my life, I never looked for stories. I always felt the story finding me, starting to whisper in my ears until they become and they manifest. And it's always a beautiful synchronicity to have this feeling of finding your next story to be told, to be shared.
So it's very interesting that a lot of stories that center around Oroville have to do with these very synchronous connections. And somehow there seems to be some kind of a force or an energy moving through that is just arranging us in, in a way that we least expect. And there are many legends and myths. And, I'd like to hear from Jenn about the way she first found Oroville, because it's actually very connected to the movie and the whole legend of Oroville.
Thank you, Yana. Yeah, and I got a little teary-eyed listening to how the story came to you also, Alessandra, because I think that it's true that if you're paying attention, right, things come to us. And that's kind of what being an artist is. It's you're creating, but really you're listening, right? You're just listening sometimes for things. So that's so beautiful. And so Yeah, I did not know anything about Oroville. I was living in Singapore, and I had just moved to Singapore to NYU, had a film school there for a minute, and I thought I really want to go to India, but I don't know where to go and where do you begin with in India. And so I closed my eyes and I pointed at a map, and it was Pondicherry. And I had never heard of Oroville, or I didn't even know when I went to Pondicherry about Oroville, but I got to Pondicherry and immediately somebody said, "Oh, you should go to this place called Oroville." And so I took a tuk-tuk and went back to the Airbnb and or the bed and breakfast place. And then I moved my stuff to Oroville and stayed for a week because I was just amazed at what was happening there. I'd never seen anything like it. And it was I had no idea that was how the myth was represented, that she found it also. I had not heard that story actually till this film. So that felt just very synchronous and pretty amazing, because it felt like a secret that I had just listened to some sort of calling to find. And so I think it's how we find things. So I think it's very beautiful. That's how you found the story, or just it's a legend, but then it came to you on your birthday. So it's a pretty powerful place. It feels sometimes, I remember moments of it, like waking up to the peacocks and going into the meditation chamber, and it feels like dreams. It feels like fragments of a dream that I had, because I was also by myself, and again, I had not planned it. So it was just this thing like, oh, this exists. It was almost like a hallucination, but it wasn't. It was better because it was real.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Alessandra. I think we're setting the stage for the viewing of a magical film, or a film that brings the magic to life. Alessandra, speaking of magic and the making of the movie, there are a lot of scenes there that are sort of, that take reality and shift it into this other dimension. And I wondered, when I heard about the story, well, how is Alessandra going to bring back the scenery of the time? How are we going to enter that world of more than 50 years ago? So and you found some very creative solutions. So I was wondering, and especially that we can see very clearly in the intro clip that you made. So tell us a little bit about how you conceived the movie and the process of finding the local actors, finding the animation, building these dream sequences. It's all very interesting, and it would be great to hear a little bit about that.
So when I and my two collaborators decided to do this movie, we were very clear about this vision, but we were a bit scared, a bit afraid, because the story starts like 100 years back, and we are not from Tamil Nadu. So we thought that to really, really be able to dive into Andaye's world, and in Oroville at the time, that's more than 50 years back. Actually, the first day Roger, Ramanathan, and Gilbert met Andaye was 1965. So the surrounding was very different from today. So we start with the research, literally door to door in the village surrounding Oroville, and with many, many pioneers that live in Oroville and others through Jack Alexander, who helped us to outreach them in US. We managed to collect their stories, their memories, and sometimes some of them would not remember Andaye, but still they were able to give us the flavor of the life at the time and the spirit. that I find still very much alive today, like out of like Andaye spirit. I find it still very much alive and intertwined with the banyan tree. Every day I go there, I reconnect to her. So the challenge was our beloved one, and there are no more now due to gentrification and traffic and roads was basically impossible, and we had a very, very, very limited budget. So how to do? We cannot fly with the crew to Hyderabad, and also the actors are all people from their village. We literally knocked at their door asking them if we could find a place to film in their house yard or inside their living room, inside their bedroom. That's how we approach people, just like entering their home and being welcomed. And some of them were joyful and happy, and also to try to act for the first time in their life. So this was pretty easy because people were very open and welcoming, but the hard part was to find our banyan trees. So I thought, we have no budget to fly. We work with local people and children who have their daily jobs and school. How do we do? And then, ding, I thought, why not to use artificial intelligence to do the animations? And that's how this journey became also an opportunity to learn new techniques, new softwares, also for the editing. It wasn't easy. And sometimes on the way up to the hill, I thought, why I'm on this tough path? But I wasn't alone. Gustavo and Ratish were by my side, like two angels, day by day. And yeah, it took more than a year, starting from the research, but here we are, happy to have you here to share this dream that is now true, and the vision can be seen by others.
I think it's amazing that it's also, I mean, a year is not that long for all that you've done, you know, and sort of a small team of people that, you know, when I saw it, to see that just to figure out AI, I feel like would take me a year, like, you know, to teach yourself this program. Because I've tried, I open it up and I'm like, oh no, I don't know. You have to get very specific. So, you know, it's amazing that did you edit in Premiere, or what software did you use for editing?
I can see you are from the same field, because some people ask me, oh, a year. A year is nothing, really. It goes so quick when you are into something like that. And so on top of that, we decided to start from zero to use DaVinci Resolve. So again, it took us months just to dive into the complexity and the endless possibilities that this amazing software offers.
Right. No, it's beautiful. It's so inspiring that you could do all that. I mean, I also think it shows what can happen when you embrace restrictions, right? When you're saying, I have no money, I want to use these beautiful people. I mean, that's one thing I think is so beautiful about the film, is the human beings that you cast and that are acting in it. They're so real. It's so beautiful to see. Sorry, I'm in a bit of bright light right here. They're just their faces and their souls in ways that you can. I mean, they're so human, and I don't think we often see actors as real. And these women that you cast are so incredibly beautiful. So I think, you know, the importance of that, and thinking, I need to be with these people. How do I find my banyan tree? And then out of that restriction, you taught yourself something else, and now it's expansive in a way to express stuff. And I think it does what Iona was mentioning, which is it provides some of the magic that was necessary. And it, you know, and like you said, you could go back to the beginning of this story and tell things through animation that would be harder to tell. I mean, you also have that beautiful archival footage that is I mean, that is amazing to see. So there's so much packed within this film. It's the story of InLight, but also the story of the founding of Orville, and in a different sense than I had known about. And I find that really beautiful, as you know, through the eyes of InLight, to see it in a different light is really inspiring, and a testament to you and kind of the research, right, for finding this woman and making sure that her story gets told. So it's really inspiring.
Thank you. Also, I wanted to honor the strength of the women that surround us, most of them. And I say it as a woman, but here I feel sometimes privileged. And when I go to the village, but still, I see in their eyes something that connects us, and is there's inner strength. So I see women going on with challenges and family situation who are not easy, but still they are invisible heroes. They are for me. And I wonder every day how many stories are untold. They lie all around me. And yeah, they they are whispering in my ears, literally, like Anda is. So for me, she is a symbol of that strength and the courage also to be herself beyond the societal boundaries. She is an inspiration, and I hope many other women also so in the village surrounding Oroville will be able to see the film and be inspired as I've been when I learn about Handaye's life.
Well, and that's what's so nice about having female filmmakers who take an interest in these stories, because like you say, they're whispering in their ear. But I think sometimes these stories we're used to, they yell and they're very big stories. And sometimes to hear the women, I mean, it's still very limited, the amount of women that say win the Oscar for Best Director or something. It's so very, very little, and female stories or women's stories and really underrepresented stories, it's still, it takes somebody to listen to the whispers and to bring those to light and to tell those stories, right? And then you get to see, then when you show the film to the younger women in Tamil Nadu, they get to see people that look like them and are like them, and then they also have different possibilities for their life. So I think film is a really important way in which we can see ourselves in new light or in new circumstances, or get some strength, right? It's really helpful because you see a character doing things that are so magical. So it's a very much of a bridge. So I respect all of that work that you're trying to do to bridge the stories that so need to be told. Yeah.
Yeah, in this, I believe in the power of media, especially in our era, in our society. Media has and is a powerful tool, and as we come from this field, why not to use this power to create a more conscious society? And yeah, Auroville for me, it's the playground for that. It's full of inspiration. It's full of invisible heroes, as I used to call. So I hope this will be the first of many more stories that belong to Oroville and the bioregion, and can be shared and inspire more people also all over the world.
That's very nice. No, because I think that it is, yeah, it just feels very important to give voice to that, but also to recognize that, yeah, the privilege that we have as storytellers, that it's important to choose what to be conscious of what we tell stories about, right? We live in a world that's there's a lot of media there's too much media, right? So much, and so much is angry and full of conflict and full of lies. And this is the way that we tell stories. There's so many, tell stories about so many bad people sometimes, you know, like crimes, and we get people addicted to this sort of thing. And what we really need sometimes are these unsung heroes and people that have the different strength. And maybe it's important to watch things about not so much conflict. I mean, you know, it's conflict, but in a different way, where we watch. Yeah, I think that sometimes there's so much happening in the world that it is important to really turn up the voices of the unsung heroes, not the obvious stories that we're hearing around in the world.
Well, I think we have a great introduction to the movie and the themes and the importance of it. So thank you very much, Alessandra and Jenn. I'm very happy to also open this up to, you know, all the viewers who are not from Oroville. So in any case, so I think we should just start
Jump in.
start the movie in a few seconds. So again, everyone, if you want to hang around, the movie is about an hour long. And if you would like to stay for questions after the movie, Alessandra will be here and we can take your questions. If not, you can email questions and we can connect you to Jenn, we can connect you to Alessandra. And we can continue the dialogue by email or in other forms. So thank you very much for coming. And give me a second and I will start the movie.
In a barren land where nothing grew, the sun beat down, the skies were blue. A farmer walked with dreams untold, in his hand a seed of gold. He knelt down low, whispered a prayer, from the soil rose a mighty tree, a banyan spreading wild and free. She whispered tales of what could be. Oroville, place for humanity. Through years of rain, the banyan grew, roots entwined, the earth so true. And I watched with patient eyes as the dream began to rise. From the sacred seed, Oroville, where spirits lead. A city born, the dream now real, the nest of futures we can feel. In Oroville, beneath the tree, the future waits for you and me.
தெரியுதா நீ இருக்கிற இடம்லாம் மணக்குது. என்ன சித்து வேலை பண்ணுற நீ?
சித்து வேலையெல்லாம் எதுவும் இல்லை. அது என் அம்மா அரைச்ச மசாலா வாசனை இன்னும் சேலையில் ஒட்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு.
அந்த ஏதோ ஒரு பையன் கூட ஏதோ ஒரு பழக்கத்தில் இருக்கிறியாமே நீ. அம்மா சொன்னாங்க. நீ நினைக்கிறதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே நடக்காது. நாங்கள் என்ன சொல்கிறோமோ அது பிரகாரம் ஒழுங்காக நடக்கிற வழியை பாரு.
நம்ம எவ்வளோ கஷ்டப்பட்டு வளர்ந்து வந்து இருக்கிற, நீ இதுமாரிலாம் பண்ணின்னு இருக்கிற. நமக்கு சமமாகவே இல்லை. அவங்ககிட்ட போய் பேசின்னு இருக்கிற. எதுக்கு நீ பேசின்னு இருக்கிற? எங்களுக்கு பிடிக்கல, எங்களுக்கு என்ன மரியாதை இருக்குது ஊர் உள்ள. இப்போ நாங்கள் நல்ல நிலைமையில் இருக்கிறோம். நீ போய் அவங்கக்கிட்ட எங்களுக்கு என்ன மதிப்பாங்க? எதுக்கு இதுமாரிலாம் பண்ணின்னு இருக்கிற நீ? நம்ம எப்படி தலை காட்ட முடியும் ஊர் உள்ள? அக்கம் பக்கம் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, என்ன நினைப்பாங்க? எதுக்கு இது மாதிரி பண்ணின்னு இருக்கிற?
கல்யாணம் அவங்க கூட நடக்கவே நடக்காது. சௌகரியத்துக்கெல்லாம் நடக்கிற மாரியே இங்கே இருக்காது. அதனால் நாங்கள் சொல்கிறது என்னவோ அதை தான் நீ செய்யணும். புரியுதா? அப்பா அம்மா என்ன சொல்கிறாங்களோ அதை கேட்டு நடந்த வேலையை பாரு. உன் சௌகரியமாலாம் எதுவும் இங்கே நடக்காது. அதனால் நாங்கள் சொல்கிறது தான் நீ கேட்கணும்.
வசதிக்கேற்ற சமுதாய கட்டுப்பாடு, நாடுகளுக்குள்ள நடக்கிற சண்டை, போட்டி போடுற மதங்கள், இது எதுவுமே இல்லாத ஒரு பூமி தான் மனுஷங்களுக்கு வாழ தேவை. இது எல்லாத்திலிருந்து விடுபட்ட ஒரு மனுஷனால தான் தெய்வீக உணர்வை கடைபிடிக்க முடியும். உண்மையாக வாழணும்னு ஏங்குறவங்களை இந்த இடம் 2 கையை விரித்து வரவேற்கும்.
அதையே உட்காரு. ராஜபுல்லா எங்கே இருந்துட்டு வர நீ? ஊர் உலகம் பார்த்தா எங்களை என்ன சொல்லுவீங்களா? ஊர் வளர்த்து எங்களை அசிங்கப்படுத்த விரும்புறியா நீ?
நான் யாரும் அசிங்கப்படுத்தலை. எனக்கு பிடிச்சவங்க கூட நான் இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அதில் என்ன தப்பு இருக்குது? இந்த ஊரில் இருக்கவங்க என்னை பற்றி என்ன பேசினாலும் சரி, எனக்கு எந்த கவலையும் இல்லை.
நீ என்ன பண்ணிட்டு வந்துக்கிறேன்னு தெரியுமா? நம் குடும்பம் மனத்தை காப்பாற்றி நீ அவன் தான் கல்யாணம் பண்ணி ஆகணும்.
எல்லாம் ஞாபகப்படுத்திக்க. இது நான் எடுத்த முடிவு கிடையாது, நீ எடுத்த முடிவு. உன் தலையில் நீயே மண்ணள்ளி போட்டுக்கிற.
நான் என்ன பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன்றது எனக்கு நல்லாவே தெரியும். இந்த ஊரோட கட்டுப்பாடில் எனக்கு எதுவுமே முக்கியம் கிடையாது. எதுவாக இருந்தாலும் நானே பார்த்துக்கிறேன்.
என்ன சொல்கிறா பாத்தியா?
எல்லாரும் பார்த்துக்கிறேன்னு சொல்லுதில்ல, அது பார்த்துக்கிட்டோம். விட்டுரு சொல்லுப்பா, பார்த்துக்கிட்டே எப்படி.
எங்க பாரு ராஜகோபால பையன் வந்து பொண்ணு மாதிரி புடவை கட்டுறான். அம்மா புடவை கிடந்துங்களா பேர் வித்தியாசமா கேலி பண்ணின்னு பேர் வச்சுல கூப்பிட்றாங்கம்மா.
ராஜகோபால் என்னாச்சு என் கூட வா. செல்ல ராஜகோபால் இங்கே பாரு, நீ வித்தியாசமாக இருக்கிறது ஒன்றும் ஒரு பெரிய பாவம் இல்லை, அது உன்னோட வரம். இந்த உலகத்தில் இருக்கவங்க அதை பற்றி என்ன நினச்சாலும் சரி, நீ கவலைப்படக்கூடாது. நீ முதல்ல ஒன்றை புரிஞ்சுக்கோ, அப்புறம் தானாக இந்த உலகம் மாறிடும். கூட்டத்துலேருந்து விலகினா தான் இந்த உலகம் உனக்கு இன்னும் ஆழமாக புரியும். ஆனால் ஒரு விஷயம் மட்டும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோ, அதனால யாரையும் உன்னை தரக்குறைவாக நடத்த அனுமதிக்காது. இங்கே பார், முதல்ல உனக்கு உன்னை நல்லா பிடிக்கணும், அதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த உலகம் உன்னை தானாக ஏற்றுக்கும்.
சரிங்கம்மா, நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாரி நான் செய்கிறேன்.
நேற்று பார்த்து அந்த ஊரில் ஆலம் தானே நைட்டு ஃபுல்லாக மதுரை வாங்கிது. அது பொம்பளை தேவை நம்ம ஊருக்கு.
டேய் ஐயா, அது நல்லதே கட்டது. அந்த பொண்ணை ஊரை விட்டு வெளியே அனுப்பிடுங்க. அனுப்பிடுங்க. அது என்ன நீங்கள் முடிவு பண்ணுறீங்க பண்ணுங்க.
சரி. என்னப்பா நீங்கள் சொல்கிறதெல்லாம் இது சொல்லுங்கள். நம்ம ஒரு சென்று முடிவு பண்ணி அப்புறம் பார்த்துங்க. நீ என்னப்பா சொல்கிற?
அந்த பொம்பளை நலப்பட மாட்டோமாம்மா, அது வந்து ஏன் மறுத்து செய்யுது? அது அந்த பசங்களை வந்து காப்பாற்றிக்குது. அது நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுறீங்க? நீங்களே சொல்லணும்.
என்ன கொஞ்ச நாள் இருப்பான், கொஞ்சம் பொறுப்பான், அப்புறமா வந்து என்ன செய்யுதுன்னு முடிவு பண்ணி அப்புறம்
நாளை பின்ன பேசுற நீ சொல்லுங்க. அந்த பொம்பளை வந்ததுலேருந்து மாடுகளை செத்து போகுது.
என்ன எப்படி தான் அது மாடுகள் செத்து போச்சு? இதெல்லாம்
ஐயா ஒன்றும் இல்லை ஐயா, அவரோட புருஷன் வந்து செத்துட்டாங்க. அந்த பொம்பளை ஊரை விட்டு அனுப்பி விடுங்க.
இந்த ஊரில் யார் சாமி யார் பேயின்னு யாருமே தெரியல. அண்ணா
சரி ஐயா, நீங்கள் பார்த்து சொல்லுங்கள்
ஐயா. நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுறது பண்ணுங்க ஐயா. ஓகே வார்த்தாங்க.
ஏமா வெளியேம்மா.
நானே கிளம்பி போயிடுறேன். ரொம்ப வருஷத்துக்கு அப்புறம் நான் இப்போ தான் தயாராகியிருக்கேன். காலத்துலேருந்து எதிர்காலம் உருவாக போகுது. அது எல்லாமே இங்கேருந்து தான் தொடங்க போகுது.
Here we are, the exact place Mother pointed at to be the center of Auroville.
Yes, indeed.
இந்த இடத்துக்கு வர நாளாச்சு உங்களுக்கு? இது ஒரு புனிதமான மரம். இதில் நம்ம முன்னோர்களோட ஆத்மா குடியிருக்குது. இந்த உலகத்துக்கு வராத ஆத்மா கூட இதில் இருக்குது. இந்த மரத்துடைய ஆழமான திடமான வேர்கள் இறந்த கால ஒன்றும் சுமை கிடையாது. இறந்த காலத்து மேலே ஏறி தான் எதிர்காலத்தை அடைய முடியுங்கிறத நமக்கு உணர்த்துது. ஒரு பழமையான நாகரிகத்தோட மெய்யான அறிவு இந்த மண்ணுக்குள்ளே முணுமுணுத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்குது. 30,000 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னே குமரிக்காண்டன்ற தொலைஞ்சி போன நிலத்தில் நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் கட்டுக்கடங்க அறிவு விதைகளை மண்ணுக்குள்ளே விதைச்சிட்டு போயிருக்காங்க. உங்களால் அதனுடைய எதிரொலியை கேட்க முடியுதா? இது காலத்தின் உள்ளுணர்வு சார்ந்த அறிவு, வெளியிலிருந்து வந்ததில்லை. இது அனைத்துக்குமான ஆத்மாவிலிருந்து எழுந்தது. அது அழிவில்லா இறந்த காலத்தின் ஞாபகங்கள், எல்லையில்லா நிகழ்காலத்தின் தழுவல், முரம்பட்ட முன்னோக்கு ஞாபகங்கள் கொண்ட எதிர்காலம். நம்ம எல்லோரும் இப்போ வேற வேற தான். ஆனால் நம்ம எல்லாரும் ஒரே இடத்துல இருந்து தான் வரோம். ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து தான் வந்திருக்கிறோம். ஒரு புது சாகசத்தை நாம இப்போ தொடங்க இருக்கிறோம்.
நம்ம தோசைக்கு 50 பைசா.
ஐயா குடிங்க.
இது எங்க இருந்தது? எங்க இருந்து எடுத்தாந்தீங்க? இதா கடிச்சிடும் கடிச்சிடும் கடிச்சிடும், பூச்சி கடிச்சிடும். எங்க இருந்து எடுத்தாந்தா? எங்க இருந்து எடுத்தா? அங்கிருந்தா? வேற அனல் அடிக்குது வேற
முகத்துக்கு தான் தெரியுது.
இந்த தட்டை கட்டுங்க.
Repeat that, Dave? Yeah. Say, give it to me again. You want some?
Oh, eat your dose, or I eat it all.
No, yeah, don't worry. You guys, what you have done during the day?
We were digging.
Pillar for the Madri Mandir. Start to work on the dig for the pillar. You want some?
And now, do we have the one where they all come? இந்த மரத்துல நல்ல பாம்பு இருக்கு. Why you live all alone under this banyan tree? இந்த மரத்தங்க தான் என் நிம்மதியை கண்டுபிடிச்சேன். இந்த மல்லாட்டை கேவுரு இதெல்லாம் பயிர் பார்த்துக்கின்னு இங்கேயே வாழ்ந்துக்கின்னு இருக்கிறேன் இந்த மரத்தங்க. அதனால வேண்டி நம்ம எதை நினைக்கிறோமோ அது நடக்கும். இது வந்து ஐயனார், இந்த எல்லையை காக்கிற ஐயனார். இது மாதிரி எல்லா ஊர்லேயுமே காவல் தெய்வம் இருக்கும். இந்த ஊரை காத்துக்கின்னு இருக்கிற ஊர், மக்களெல்லாம் காத்துக்கின்னு இருக்கிற ஊர். இவர் காக்கிற சத்தம், குதிரை சத்தம் ராவிக்கெல்லாம் கேட்கும், எல்லாருமே கேட்பாங்க.
ஓ சரி, ஓகே.
இடத்துக்கு வந்தால் சீட்டி அடிக்கக்கூடாது. பொழுது போனால் சீட்டி அடிக்கக்கூடாது.
அதையாம்மா பேசிண்டே இந்த மரம் முன்னாடி வந்திருக்கோம். ஏன் இங்கே நிற்கிறோம்?
ஏன் நிற்கிறோன்னா, இது கடவுளுக்கு சமமான மரம். ஆலமரம் மட்டும் இல்லை, இது கடவுளுக்கு சமமான மரம். இது கடவுளையும் நம்மளையும் ஒன்று இணைக்கிற மரம்.
சரி, ஓகே.
பிரிக்கவே முடியாது. அது இந்த இடம் ஊர் மக்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் பின்னி பிணைஞ்சு இருக்குது. இதை பிரிக்கவே முடியாது. புனிதமான இடம்.
பேசிண்டே இந்த மரம் ஏன் இங்கே நிற்கிறோம்?
வைக்கிற காற்றுல எப்பயும் இருக்கும்.
Allah is wild with fear. அம்மா அம்மா எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
பரவாயில்ல, இருக்கிறேன், நல்லா இருக்கிறேன். நீ எப்போ வந்த?
7th February 1969. Dear Mother, the banyan tree's spirit is particularly menacing tonight. Andaye is plagued with nightmares. We seek your advice.
நேரில்லாரம்மா நான் நிலமல்லா பைரம்மா வேரில்லா செடியம்மா நான் வேலில்லா மலரம்மா என் தாயே உமையவளே உன் பாதம் வணங்குகின்றேன் கண்ணீரா காலம்பி என் கரத்தால் கையேந்தி உன் வரவை நான் எதிர்பார்க்கிறம்மா என் தாயே உமையவளே உன் பாதம் வணங்கி நின்றே நீ தாண்டி என் நெஞ்சில் நிழலாக வர வேண்டும் ஆறுதலை சொல்வதற்கு
அது யார் பொம்பளை அது வெள்ளை கலர் புடவை கட்டுன்னு இப்படி போகுது?
அவங்க பாண்டிச்சேரிக்கு மதர் தரிசனம் பார்க்க போகிறாங்க.
வெள்ளை புடவை கட்டிக்கின்னு பாய் விட்ட அம்மா மாதிரி வெள்ளைக்கார சாமியார் பார்க்க போகுது.
தாயே உமையவளே எனையாலும் இளங்காளி உன் பாதம் வணங்குகின்றேன் என்னை நீயா.
என்னம்மா
என்னப்பா
என்னம்மா தினைக்கு நீ வர்ற பாட்டு பாடுற அத்தா கூட பேசுற இன்னைக்காவது உனக்கு நல்ல புத்தி சொல்லு சார்.
எனக்கு நல்ல புத்தி சொல்லிச்சு நான் டெய்லி நல்ல புத்தி சொல்லிச்சு நீயும் வா உனக்கு நல்ல புத்தி சொல்லு.
தெரியுமா இன்னைக்கு நான் என்ன பார்த்தேன் தெரியுமா? திருசூலத்தில் எலுமிச்சம்பழ குத்தி இருந்துச்சு. நீயும் பண்ணல நானும் பண்ணலன்னா இப்போ யார் பண்ணியிருப்பா? ஆத்தா அம்மா குத்துருச்சுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
அது காக்கா கொத்தி வச்சிருக்கோம். நீ நம்பினா நம்பட்டா போ.
உன் நம்பிக்கை அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு நம்பிக்கை. உன் நம்பிக்கையை பார்த்து இந்த ஆத்தாவே பெருமைப்படும். அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு நம்பிக்கை.
அது இல்லைடா பூசாலி, தினைக்கும் உன் கூட பேசுறதுக்கு அதுக்கு இல்லை, என் கூட பேசுது. உன் கூட ஒன்னாட்டம் புத்திசாலி கூட பேச முடியல, அதனால் என் கூட பேசுது.
சரி இருக்கட்டும், சாமியும் கொஞ்சம் சந்தோஷமா இருக்கணும்ல. இருக்கட்டும், அது பாட்டுக்கு இருக்கட்டும். நான் என்னால் முடிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு சந்தோஷமா வச்சுக்கிறேன். நல்லா இப்போ கூட்ட ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கேன்.
ஏன் பிறந்தாய் மகளே, ஏன் பிறந்தாயோ, இல்லை ஒரு பிள்ளை என்று எங்கு ஓர் பலர் இருக்க, இங்கு வந்து ஏன் பிறந்தாய் தங்க மகளே. நான் நான் பிறந்த காரணத்தை நானே அறியும் முன்னே நீ வந்து ஏன் பிறந்தாய் செல்வ மகளே. நான் பிறந்த காரணத்தை நானே அறியும் முன்னே நீயும் வந்து ஏன் பிறந்தாய் தங்க மகளே. ஏன் பிறந்தாய் மகளே, ஏன் பிறந்தாயோ, ஏன் பிறந்தாய் மகளே, ஏன் பிறந்தாயோ.
அம்மா ராஜுலு எனக்கு தம்பி மட்டும் இல்லை, அவன் என்னோட வழிகாட்டி. கடவுள் இருக்கு, சத்தியம் இருக்குன்னு எனக்கு புரிய வச்சவன். உங்ககிட்ட தான் நான் கற்றுக்கிட்டேன். பயத்தை நம்மளை திங்க விடக்கூடாதுன்னு. சாவுக்கு கூட பயப்படக்கூடாதுன்னு. ஏன்னா சாவு ஒரு இறந்த பிறகு இல்லை. நம்ம வேற ஒன்று மாறதுக்கான வழிதான் இருப்போங்க. ஒன்று பார்த்து தான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோமா. இப்போ நீ தான் உன் பேத்தையே பார்த்துக்கணும், சரியா? அவ சந்தோஷத்தில் இந்த ஊர் பேசுகிற பேச்செல்லாம் அர்த்தமில்லாமல் போயிடும்.
After her hut was burnt down, Andaye moved to Kotakarai, where Aurovilians built a hut for her under advice of the mother. In the tranquil embrace of Kotakarai, Andhai found solace. A new chapter of her life had begun under the protection of a new roof.
சுசிதாம்மா, சுசிதா கண்ணு போய் பேக்கரியில் போய் ரொட்டி கொடுப்பாங்க. அந்த பஸ்ஸட்டில் இருக்கிறவங்களாம் காத்துக்கின்னு இருப்பாங்க. நீ போய் வாங்கின்னு வந்துடு இன்னைக்கு. வாமா வா வா, உக்காரு தலை செய்யணும் போ.
எனக்கு ஒன்று ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும் ஐயா. பாவா நம்ம தடிசு தோட்டத்தை வர தாண்டி போகணும். சரி.
Since we have the prosperity scheme, the kids are so happy.
Here you go, Tushita. The fresh loaf for you. And send greetings to Andaye.
Thank you. வா போலாம். ஹாய்.
எப்படி இருக்க?
ஹாய், how are you?
அம்மா எப்படி இருக்கிறீங்க? நல்லா இருக்கிறீங்களா? சாப்பாடு எடுத்துட்டீங்களா?
வணக்கம். கைட்டிட்டி ஓய் என்னமா உள்ள போச்சு?
Hey! Out of the way! Hundreds of times I told you, take another road.
நம்ம தனியாக சாப்பிட்றத விட ஒரு சாப்பாடு பகிர்ந்து சாப்பிட்ணும். 4 பேர் கொடுத்த மாதிரியும் இருக்கும், சாப்பிட்ட மாதிரியும் இருக்கும். அவங்களுக்கும் நல்லது, நமக்கும் நல்லது அது.
The inauguration of Oroville, with the participation of 124 nations, occurred on February 28, 1968. 43 years after the day when Roger, Gilbert and Ramanathan met Antayi for the first time, the dream that had echoed through the generations became a tangible reality. In 2008, the construction of the Matrimandir was successfully completed. Handayi lived with her granddaughter Tushita. The bond between them remained unbroken. Though physical separation had claimed Antayi in 1985, yet the essence of her spirit remains entwined with the banyan tree.
என்னுடைய கதை இந்த நிலத்து மக்களோட எண்ணத்துல இந்த ஆலமர இலைகளை சலசலக்க வைக்கிற காத்துல எப்பயும் இருக்கும். இந்த பின்னி பிணைக்கப்பட்ட மானுட இருத்தலில் ஆரோவில்லுடைய இதயத்துல நாம எல்லோரும் கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாத காலத்தின் நூலால பிணைக்கப்பட்டு இருக்கிறோம். நாம எல்லோரும் நேற்றைய கனவுகளோடும் நாளைய நம்பிக்கையோடும் பிணைக்கப்பட்டு இருக்கிறோம். இங்க பின்னி பிணைக்கப்பட்ட வாழ்க்கையில உண்மையான ஊட கண்டடைவோம். அந்த இருள்லையும் அந்த மாத்துருமந்தி கம்பீரமா நின்னுது. அதோட உள்ள அறையில நம்மளை வரவேற்கும் மென்மையான ஒளி வீசிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. அந்த ஒளி நம்பிக்கை, ஒற்றுமை மற்றும் முடிவில்லா கனவுகளை நம்மளுடைய இதயத்துல நெஞ்சிக்கிட்டே இருக்கு. அது நம்மளை எதை நினைவில் வச்சுக்க சொல்லுதுன்னா, நம்ம ஒற்றுமையா அந்த கனவு பிடிச்சிருந்தோம்னா ஒரு பிரகாசமான எதிர்காலத்தை உருவாக்க முடியும். அறியப்படாத பாதையில் அடியெடுத்து வைக்கும்போது நம்ம இதயம்தான் நமக்கு திசை காட்டி, அன்புதான் நம்மளை வழி நடத்தும் விடிவெள்ளி. இந்த எல்லையில்லா சாகசத்துல நம்மளோட ஒற்றுமையும் நம்ம எல்லோரோட ஆன்மாவும் ஒரு புது உலகத்துக்கான ஒரு கதையை சொல்லும். இதுல எல்லோரும் ஒரு கதை சொல்லி எல்லோரோட வாழ்க்கையும் ஒரு கவிதை. நாம முன்னோக்கி போவோம், கையோடு கைகோத்து இந்த சாகசத்தை ரசிச்சுக்கிட்டு ஒரு எல்லையற்ற பாதைய நாம உருவாக்குவோம். ஒரு புதிய வாழ்க்கையின் எல்லையற்ற தொடுவானத்தை நோக்கி. நாம தான் நாளைய விடியலின் நெசவாளர்கள்.
shadows chase. Tears fall down a frightened face. Darkness wraps her like a shroud. Silent voices scream so loud. Run, run, little girl, don't look back. Midnight's calling, it's on your track. Run, run to the dawn's first light. Lost in the mysteries of the night.
Thank you, Alessandra.
Thank you for watching and stayed all along.
It's a very, very beautiful and remarkable movie. I'm sure I see some people wiping tears, as was I at different times of the movie. Thank you so much for just doing this, just having this vision and executing it. We're getting messages, bravo Alessandra, which is exactly what I said when I first saw clips of the movie. So let me just ask you, how do you feel now just seeing it all and with the energy of everyone watching it?
Very powerful, and I feel like I release here. No, it's like the real reason why we did it is for sharing the inspiration we found through Andaye. So I really feel like a big release, no, almost like giving birth to a baby after a year. Yes.
Well, thank you for choosing Orville International USA as the first, as the way to give light to this beautiful, beautiful creation. So, and I, thank you.
Thank you for believing in us.
Yeah, and of course, yeah. I saw that you mentioned Jack Alexander, which we know was involved with this from the beginning. And do you want to say, there he is, I see him?
I can't see in my window, but surely I don't know if without him I would have done.
Right there.
His positivity, he saw it done already, so he was the other dreamer by my side that I needed to believe it was possible to realize it. So I'm so happy to see him and his beautiful wife present.
Jack, do you want to?
I think I am unmuted. She unmuted me. So, my goodness. I mean, the fact that I was one of those 20-year-olds running around the banyan tree and saying hello to her on my way to work at the Mancha Mandir it's really breathtaking to see what you've done with all of that and how sincere and how you fulfilled her life and the truth of Oroville, actually. I mean, the ending to me was spectacular and so beautifully profound that you also told Oroville's story in the same package. She was, my son played right next to her in the sandpit at the Mancha Mandir. We have a lot of pictures of that. And she was just part of our life. And the fact that this has come to pass with such artistry, and it's a lot of superlatives that I can't even express, that you've done so well. I really appreciate it.
We have done. As I said, this would have not been possible. I remember your first message on Facebook after I got the photo of another synchronicity, because John showed me Andaye's photo on the phone, and if not the day after, 2 days after, Jack did the same. We didn't know each other. He just sent me a message on Facebook with the same photo of Andaye. That's when I say, hey, the universe is speaking to me. Andaye is reaching out, mother also. And we are just channel of this big orchestra, this music all around us. No, we just have to synchronize ourselves on it. So you catalyze that energy for sure. Thank you, Jack.
My pleasure. And you know, it could have been, there are so many small stories. It could have gotten bogged down in, you know, some of the downward stories of the village life that she had, but you elevated it. All of it was meaningful and true and upward. And that was what I found really so engaging, that it was, you told it in reality, but we didn't focus on the negativity of, you know, her life.
Well, and she always, I worked at the Montmandier Workers' Kitchen while she lived there. And she was an Orovillean officially. And she would come every month to request her prosperity with a little list of chica powder for her hair and this much dal and this much rice. And she'd have a liter of coriander seeds. And, you know, sometimes she'd just come in here and we didn't have enough Tamil to really speak with her, but she'd sit with us and hang out with us. And it just, she was such, I don't know, just such an Orvillian, you know, from her heart.
And so good-natured, good-humored, and didn't mind if you couldn't understand her. She would just
tell you anyway.
Talk anyway.
This reminds me of Jaya Lakshmi, who is the main actress, and it's Andaye's real granddaughter.
Oh, wow.
And it seems to me that she has inherited from Andaye a lot of characteristics, because while now you were describing these nice and personal details about her, it's like you're describing my feelings towards Jaya Lakshmi.
Yeah.
I felt that also.
She came one day, and it wouldn't have been relevant particularly to the way you spread the story, but she came one day and she was having heart pain or something like that. And so I took her, she and I rode on the bus, the school bus, to Jitmer Hospital. And she was terrified to be there. You know, she gripped my hand the whole time, and we had to make the doctors agree to let me at least sit by her. I couldn't touch her while she was having an EKG because it would mess up their results, but just she had to see me be there. And I think, you know, it wasn't ultimately something major, but it had frightened her. And I don't know, it was such a treasure to be able to give her something back. So
Well,
she always had a smile. And she'd go up and have tea with the Mandir workers every morning. Yeah.
Thank you,
it's
Jack.
like
Alessandra.
no, I think that she left something within each and every person who remember her. No, and yeah, this film is like a tribute back to her memory and the
It's so
spirit.
wonderful that you made this because it's a really important piece. Mandir, and you've made it beautifully.
As Johnny would say, good on you, mate.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Straight to the point.
Yes. And this is just the first of a series of films that Alessandra is planning about the history or the, the creation of Oroville, the untold side, the prophecies, the myths, the legends that have been floating around and that, the stories that haven't been told yet, but that are there. So, Alessandra, do you want to tell us a little bit about? I mean, we haven't even taken this in yet, and I'm wanting to hear about what's next. But maybe you can just give us just an idea and
Yeah, I can share in a nutshell that this story open for me and my crew the door towards exploring deeper the connection between Auroville and the bioregion and Tamil Nadu. And just at the edge of Auroville, there is Hirumbai Temple. And Hirumbai Temple has been holding another legend that is also written, carved on its walls. And this we feel is strictly connected also to Auroville, at least energetically and with a suspense. Even in this story, there is an untold part that we may not find the answer, but we could find a crack that opens towards something deeper. So another research start, and I see for me it's already happening, and I can envision the next movie already exploring the connection between Auroville and Irumbai. Yes.
Well, that sounds, I can't wait. I mean, I want to see this film several more times just to take in all the details and the history and the connections. But I think just the direction you're going in is something that has just been waiting. It's like stories waiting to be told, and yeah. And what's interesting to me is also these stories, they're marking everyone. Like everyone in Oroville is living with these stories as reality, but we just haven't brought them to the surface, Like I actually asked a few people about the legend of Irumbai that you told me, and one person knew about it, but they're just like, oh yes, a long time ago I heard of this, but anyway, I don't want to say more to not spoil the surprise. So I do want to ask if anyone has any questions or comments now. Okay, so Aisha has her hand up, but we can't see her. But Aisha, okay, so she's gonna ask a question. And it's not Aisha. You can unmute yourself.
Here she is, yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I am Rigved. I am with my friend Aisha. We were watching this movie together. I just want to say, I love the fact that you have recreated, like you filmed it in a recreational way using AI and using, like I also saw you like some parts you did close up of different places, and as a filmmaker I can identify like wide shot of different place and close up of different place, and that worked very well. I just want to say that the core of the story is so strong that I don't feel the representational filming is a limitation to how much it can move us. The fact that it's representational, like half of it is representational, has still moved me completely because the core of the story is that powerful. And I just want to appreciate this fact that as a filmmaker, I recognize your unique uh, way of filming and using archival footages. The blending of the archival footages with the story is superb. I did not feel that we are watching two different eras. So I just want to appreciate with that, and it has moved me because like I just got moved by the core of what the story was about, and also the filming. So thank you.
Thanks to you. That's really motivating for us because given the restricted budget, we were really stuck by this challenge. And hearing from a colleague filmmaker like Jenn, it's very important for us. So we will consider that as a possibility for the next movie that is dated 500 years back. So the challenge will be even bigger.
Can I ask you, how did you crack the code of like blending the core of the story with and not letting the representational filming limit what you want to show? Like, how did you find the exact point of, where the fact that it's not realistic will not matter anymore? How did you do that?
It took many months to find the courage to write down the script. It took me many months. I was blocked, and then I wrote it in 2 days. It was there, And like many things, when I think with the mind, I find problems. But when I let the creativity flow, some solution come along. And mainly, I realized that doing the fiction was the way to liberate myself from these limitations. So saying, hey, I'm allowed to use my imagination. I'm allowed to use my creativity. I don't need to be realistic 100% like when I do documentaries. Was the big way out of this dilemma. So yeah, more fiction to come, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, Alessandra.
Thank you, Yesha.
Does anyone else, would anyone else like to ask a question? Any more questions for Alessandra? You can either put them in the chat or raise your hand. There were some comments and some people left already. But no, okay. No one? Okay. Well, Alessandra,
we can keep the communication on for the future through email or messages. So I'm open also to have a deeper one-on-one sharing, an email. Please feel free to reach out. You may behold another story that I don't know. So feel free to connect with me anytime.